Thank you for answering. I love you. And I hope you all got a lot of questions and spiritual experiences because we have some revelations for you tonight. All right? Who has that first spiritual experience they'd like to share with the rest of us?
I have one.
All right. Go ahead, sister.
Well, the other night I had a dream that I had seen like a whole bunch of different types of crabs. And then when I got up later on that day, early in the a.m., as soon as I stepped outside, I seen them.
Now, you know, that's remarkable because I was just thinking about you. I was watching one of the DVDs that I play all night, and it opened up with you from Della Henderson. And you were out there with a child, or at least one or two children, talking about you saw a crab, and I mean, it did pop up on the screen. It recorded very clear. It was definitely distinctly a crab. So you do attract those crabs, and it's very real. I want everybody to know that. You hear me?
Yes,
I'm putting that DVD in packages right now for people to see. Thank you. Next spiritual experience.
A couple of days ago, we were coming back from a doctor's appointment, and while driving along the highway, I noticed that the sky was filled up with a certain size clouds, white, fluffy-looking clouds. So I mentioned
in a circle, a big circle.
Yeah, in a big circle. So I mentioned to the Messiah that they look like ships, or they could be ships hiding in the form of clouds. And the Messiah replied, "It could be ships come here to protect me."
Yeah, fleets that follow me across the land and around. There's a lot of people, please mute your phone. A lot of people that come to visit me, and they notice the crabs above me all the time, wherever I go, especially at my home. All right. Next spiritual experience, or what is that first question? And I hope you all been watching the news. Remember, I told you.
Rahul back.
Hey, Rahul back. How you going out there?
Yeah, I handled it.
Very good. Thank you so much. That's you doing your job, Salahuddin. That means defender of the faith.
It's occurred.
All right. Well, I really didn't want to have nature close in on that person because they keep talking about.
Yeah, I like when you say my Egyptian name. You know.
Yeah, I can. Yeah. But Salahuddin is a verb. It's an action. A defender of the faith. That's why I said that.
Yeah, I love them too.
Yeah. The thing is that some people keep talking about they want to die, but you don't know how real that is until it starts approaching them in reality, until nature starts squeezing on them real tight. You know? And I'll tell you something I know. When people, act that way towards this mission, they go through a great deal of suffering in hell. You know, they do. If not, completely taken out. But back to a brighter side of darkness. Now, who's been watching the news? I want y'all to know this is about the fall of the cabal. But there is the more significant reality I want everybody to realize in regard to making this dimensional shift or this event. We have all the time in the world, but we don't have any time to waste. You hear me? Okay. And we don't have to wait for some large fleet of crabs or a significant event. We're already in 5D. You have to learn how to step into it. You follow me? You have to visualize it. Think positive. With every thought, you have to ask yourself, is this a 5D thought? Is this a 5-dimensional or above thought? Is this a high vibratory thought? And don't think in terms of low vibrations. Don't do it, because you always create hell inevitably around yourself. and within yourself. You have to keep thinking high and visualize yourself walking and the wind blowing around you in a circle and lights all around you, and that nature responds to you. When you walk past the trees, they bow and they glow. Your footsteps glow on the streets when you walk. And people that walk behind you can see them even if they quickly fade away, the blue and green colors. You follow? People can notice the light in your eyes. You have a faraway look in your eyes. That's what it is that you're straddling two realities. Like Jessica Pisces, the interlocking worlds, the spiritual world and the physical world, where that you're either raising up in vibration, like with the Schumann resonance, and you all need to get a pencil and paper. Rahubat, let me hear your voice. You should be writing down all these things. Write down the Schumann resonance. Schumann resonance. That's very important for you to research. That'll be a clear evidence that we are going through the dimensional shift very quickly. In brief, it means that the world was vibrating about 7, and now it's vibrating probably 2 or 3 times faster than that this year. 33 plus, Anuka says. So it's vibrating very fast. That's a spiritual vibration. When things become invisible. Now you all got to know that when you have a blue light healing session and you see your spirit perspire through your skin or glowing through interlocked fingers in the darkness, and you light up like that, that's your spiritual body. That's watching your astral body, ultraviolet body glow. And at that point, you are deity, right? Or when you move in stars, perform these things that would be otherwise deemed miraculous. You have to also understand that people that contact us and then they can't see us move stars or perform any activity, can't move them themselves, it's because they are vibrating on a physical carnal frequency and they can't reach that high. You follow what I'm saying? And unfortunately, because they can't see it or experience it, they slam us and say it's not happening, right? You follow me? And it's not happening for them. Remember, I told you all, be careful, son. The whole universe will start moving in on you. Just watch it. Remember, the devil's name is Agent Barbados. Go ahead. Yes. Rahubat. Talk to me. Baror, how are you? I'm glad to hear your voice.
Pretty good.
All right. Okay. Now, John Brown, are you here? John Brown from Rhode Island. You here? Okay. Benny Santiago. Can you all respond? All right. Now, who has that next spiritual experience they'd like to share, or that next question?
I have a spiritual experience.
Very good.
So Tuesday around 10:20, I was trying to get some rest, and I had a difficult time trying to get some rest because all of a sudden they just working me a lot on the boat. But then I couldn't use my phone for a while, so I was trying to, get some rest and then try to get back to my phone. But my phone kept I couldn't reach you because the emails keep saying that it don't exist, like your email don't exist. And then I said, I gotta find somewhere to get some rest.
I am temporarily cut off, but we're working on reestablishing the computer. And in that regard, I would like to tip my celestial hat to a T-Fit, because the other night she called me and offered to buy us a laptop, right? And I told her, and I really love that idea and the thought of it. But that I work with CPU. All of you that know me know that I always have two computers, at least two computers side by side on the floor. But I just want to make sure that you all know that she did offer to buy them. All right, go ahead.
I know you was working on it. One more thing is just the spiritual experience took place around about 10 something Tuesday, about 10 o'clock, a little bit close to 10:20. So I was like restless and tired and pain. And ever since the burst of the solar eclipse, I was been going through some ascension. So I'm laying in the bed. My lady, she decided to go to the store with my daughter. She's 5 years old. And I just started having visions about a little girl running in the middle of the street. And I'm like, wow, why I'm seeing a little girl running in the street? But I really don't know it's my daughter. And then all of a sudden, I see the guy that's trying to drive, towards my daughter to run her over. It's 4 guys in the car, but they're looking at me with a mean look. They look familiar. I saw them before. And then all of a sudden, I got up, then laid back down. I entered that dream again, like that vision or whatever. And this time it was opposite. It was like, the first time it was one child with 4 guys in the car. When I turned back and looked to the back, this time I looked behind my back, it's more people. It's less people in the car, like one person in the car. And there's a lot of children running down the street. And that was strange. And then my lady, she walked in the door, and I kind of didn't remember for a moment. And she was telling me, your daughter was getting across the street today with me just about 10 minutes ago, 10, 15 minutes ago. And she said, I decided to tell her, go ahead and make a run, baby. You can do it. And she said, as soon as she said that, this one car come out of nowhere, went right over the curb, just came around the corner, just tried to run my daughter over. She said she reached out and grabbed the daughter and pulled her back, grabbed my daughter and pulled her back. And then I was sitting there saying, I just had a vision like that. She was like, what? I said, yeah, I just visualized that. That was weird. And I was just like you said, whatever she was going through, she existed inside of me, and I saw a reflection of it.
Exactly, because you are one with all, and all is one with you. So when you vibrate on higher frequencies, you have the ability to avert obstruction. Because just like we were going to focus on this class tonight about the fall of the cabal or the evil, the devil's time is up. As I bring you all through the book of Revelations, and then tie that to what's happening in the Middle East right now, you know exactly where you are and what time it is and how close their imminent demise is. You follow what I'm saying? So that those of you that are really with me, truly and sincerely with me, you are transforming, and you're transforming into gods. And this is the proof test right here. Right here. If you can make it here, you will earn an eternal throne.
Well,
but those that sell it, who that's attack? I'm glad to hear it, son. But those of you that sell your souls for worldly goods and carnal greed, etc., you will fail. You follow me? For what would it profit a man to be given the world and lose his immortal soul? It wouldn't benefit him at all. You see what I mean?
Can I ask a question to Moon?
Yes.
Black Jesus?
Yes.
Can you explain to those that got in the class and came on to the knowledge that they're going to be tested, like Brother Man that I spoke to earlier, and I told him you got to hold on to the rope, and a new Air is going to test.
Oh, yeah. We all being tested. Many of us. Glad to hear your voice, man. I just hope you stay in class. We're all being tested, and many of us will be shaken violently, as were those before us. Many of the martyrs, many have been martyred in the way of the Most High, or in Jesus' name. They've been persecuted for righteousness' sake. But remember that persecution is a sign of truth. Persecution is a sign of truth. The devil only persecutes those that tell the truth because they're too weak to live it. They can't make up your climb. And they're threatened by the truth. Are you following me? They're really afraid of it because the devil is a liar, a perfect liar. That's what they are. You follow? When you all come together in that synchronicity, into that one mind, that nine mind, whether you vibrate on those higher frequencies, you're starting to expose yourself to creating higher realities. That is the whole purpose of the exercise. That's the point of the mission. I just want to emphasize to all of you the importance of making sure that you post up our classes and our information and contact information in every media venue all over the world in large groups and large numbers. You have to do it if you want to be successful, because until we reach the number of 144,000, the designated number, and we convert that many people to the truth, we will not have a completed and successful mission. So it won't do any good for us as individuals to say, I know this, I got this, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that, I'm going to heaven. No, because if you think single-minded and everything's about me, then it's another test that you're failing right there. The test of oneness, right? This is about unification, about merging into one. You follow me?
Yep, I agree, Messiah. In other words, together as a unit.
That's right. If you're not posting up this information, reaching thousands of people, you are not doing your job. You're not performing your responsibilities in this mission as a member of the 144,000. Right? All right.
Right.
Next question, please.
I have a question, Amun.
I'll do my best.
Are there 9-foot reptilian beings like on the earth?
Sure. There are also interdimensional reptilians that are like 9 feet. And you can see some brothers and sisters that are very, very negative. I was seeing a brother walking across the street from me in the opposite direction some years ago. And I noticed with my mind's eye, I saw a big, tall reptilian standing right behind him. And he had his hand or claw clasped around the base of the brother's spine. And what they're doing is shooting electrical impulses into their nervous system and controlling these Negroes like a marionette or a puppet. You follow? It's just another form of possession, like a walk-in. Let me be clear. And I had a video that I sent out to people around that period where there was a white woman in her kitchen that had one of these big, tall reptilians behind her with the paw wrapped around the base of her spine, shooting electrical impulses. And I had another video I sent where the white man was sitting down and there was a reptilian crawling up his shoulder and his neck and merging into his back and his spinal system. How many of y'all remember that video?
I remember that.
That's right. That's right. Who said that?
Yeah, me too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. I love you. That's right. That's real. So don't think that possession is a fantasy. It is very real. And there are people that are possessed right now that are in your family, your friends, and your social circles. And they're really being controlled and manipulated by these actual dragon forces, right? They have no will or self-determination at all. They're totally obedient to these reptile masters, right? And it's very unfortunate because if we can't free them here with this dynamic truth and this dynamic proof, they can't be freed at all. And the danger is that they'll work in every way they can to try to block you from making the ascension because they know they're incapable of it. Are you following me? All right. Next question. More spiritual experience. In the meantime, everybody get a hold of their NGOs. If you have the disc, put it in your TV or your computer. And if you have the book, or if you have the King James Bible only, we're going to Revelation. And we're going to go to chapter 14. Mute your phone, marionette puppet. You see that? There's this brother on the phone from California, this Adrian Barbino.
Okay, brother, whoever you are out there, please stop the noise. If you don't want to learn, hang up the phone. Please do not disrupt our class. We're trying to learn and know.
Yeah, see, so we're going to have to, at some point, we have to create a psychic self-defense and start visualizing his demise. This brother keeps pretending like he wants to die. He wants to die, but I wonder how serious he really is.
Right. Amun-Rayay? When the curses hit him, he gonna see it.
Yeah.
It's just best to ignore him. Don't give him no energy. Just ignore him.
Yeah,
right.
But the thing is, he's slandering. I love you, sister. He's slandering people. Like the text that he sent to you, she said.
Yeah.
And how he keeps calling you up and cursing you out and all that. All you're doing is trying to help him. And I know that's what you're doing. Because all I'm doing is trying to help him. And he's slandering me all over. And he's texting people with all this negative sex and begging for money and evil slandering. He's texting I Care in Mississippi. So what he was doing was trying to get the numbers of everybody in the class so that he could go around to them individuals and put that poison, toxic stuff out. He was trying to accumulate people so he wants to slander and degrade the group and nullify us. He's degrading.
He's tripping the moon. He's tripping.
He is Satan. And he'll have to be dealt with in ways that I really don't want to, but we're going to find out if he really wants to die or not. All right. Let's go to Revelation chapter 14. There's something I wanted to walk through with you all. Chapter 14, chapter 6. In the NGO book, it's page 597. Are you here? Because I know you have the book.
Yes, Messiah.
All right.
Yeah.
Whenever y'all hear that noise, you send a curse that way in your mind. Believe me, just like you move stars, it's really real. Just start seeing him stretched out in a fiery coffin, about to be pushed into the crematorium, into that blazing fire, feet first, very slowly. You follow me? And we'll see how much he really wants that. All right. We're going to Revelation 14, chapter 14, verse 6. That'll be in the book, page 597. You all let me know when you're there. The last class, he was there working, moving his zipper and all that. He's just a little black demon is all he is. All right. And he takes kindness for weakness. When you try to help him, he takes that as a sign of weakness. Okay. And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation, and kindred, and tongue, and people. And I, John, son of Zebedee, and Salome, saw another Anunnaki Elohim named Nusku, Gabriel, showed up, son of Raphael and Zamael, fly in the midst of the skies, which is the location of the Kaaba, and the scroll with all the scriptures in one, called the Mother of Scripture, having everlasting bells and shields. the book of Revelation in order to inform all those who are dwelling on the planet Earth, and to every nation of people and kindred and tongue and tribe. Now I want you all to understand this and analyze this next verse very clearly. This is the proper explanation or tafsir by Nabab Yaanuwn. Now we all know that the Messiah, Jesus, is actually the incarnation of the angel Gabriel that took the form of a well-made man, and on these crafts, the Messiah craft, they have the seed of the angel Gabriel, and it's frozen. They thaw it out and inject it into his testes, and they sent him down to this young girl, Mary, accompanied by the angel Michael. When he said, "Hail Mary, full of grace," lifted her robe, and he went in unto her, and she gave birth to that which was divine, Messiah Jesus, in the form of the angel Gabriel that allowed him to perform the miracles, moving stars, walking on water, etc., raising the dead, and touching that olive tree and
You've
making
been
it
muted.
die.
To unmute yourself, press the star key twice.
Right.
Mute off.
Now, I want y'all to understand this. When Malachi said that, when Yaanuwn says he and I are one, that's a literal statement. Coming to you down from the sky is Gabriel, the angelic messenger, giving the revelation to Michael, the angel of justice from Mount Paran. He is not only bringing you a perfect translation of El Quran from pure, assured Syriac Arabic, but also the translation of the Torah from Aramaic Hebrew, and now the Injil, the book of Revelation, from the Greek. He gave you the book of Lambs, the holy tablets, as Malachi, or the Malak. You know, Malak is the warden over hell, the angel over the pit. So what we find now is that Malachi was filled with the spirit of the angel Gabriel when he delivered to you the book of the Lambs and the holy tablets and his writings. Are you following me? So that we have the same angel at the core of us, he and I. The holy tablets as Malachi or the Malak, angel messenger. Yes, for those who want to know, this is that book. Gabriel is always the messenger, Rasul. He is the one who brought down the message, the Quran, or El's Holy Quran. That was the Prophet Mustafa Muhammad Alameen, right? That was Gabriel as well. That inspires and reveals or gives the revelation, and is the final messenger. Not final prophet, Nabi, of which Muhammad was. You see, in other words, Muhammad was the final prophet, but I'm the final messenger. And I, too, am inspired by the angel Gabriel, and not the final prophet of prophecy, Nabuwa, which the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, 1895, 1975, was, who according to the book of Malachi, behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of Yahuwah, and Melchizedek is the Yahuwah that was sent to us right there in person today. Right? So you see, Gabriel is the one that inspired Elijah Muhammad as well. And he is the one that brings the messages to the planet Earth in every form and in every man, shape, and form. So the angelic being that brings the messages from you and acts as intercessor between you and the Most High is the angel Gabriel. Is everybody clear about that? Now, how many of you have... All right. Let's go to chapter 16. 16:6. Let's go to page 636 in the Injil. Or go to Revelation chapter 14, verse 12. That'll be page 636 for those that have the book. Let me know when you're there. Yeah.
I'm there.
Very good. Now here is the translation out of the King James Revelation. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. Right? That's the way the Bible records it. Now that's a translation. This is a transliteration done by Dr. Malachi C. York, the Tafsir explanation. Here, this is the Holy One's patience. Those who guard the commands of Theos and have faith in the Messiah Jesus. The coming of the final Messiah is a very controversial subject among the world's religions. Some say the physical Jesus of 2,000 years ago will return himself in the same body. And that's not true. That would be reincarnation. Reincarnation is the belief of Hinduism, which is taught by Cleophas. Each denomination has their own interpretation of when the Messiah will come, where he will appear, and who he will be coming for. The lost sheep of the tribe of Israel only. The Jews will recognize that the Messiah, HaMashiach, will come at the end of the world out of Jerusalem. That's what they say. The Christian will recognize that he will return in the form of their rapture as God. Now, the Orthodox Sunni Muslims are totally confused about the return of the Messiah because they are too wrapped up in worshiping and exalting Muhammad. The Nation of Islam believes W.D. Farad Muhammad is Allah in the flesh, the Mahdi, and the Messiah, and the Ahmadiyya sect believe Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani to be the Mahdi and the Messiah. None of that's true, but the truth is, the Holy Tabernacle Ministries recognizes that he will return after the Mahdi, after Ahmad al-Mahdi, who wrote the Raptir, and the Reformer, that's Malachi. The Holy Tabernacle Ministries recognize that he will return, the Messiah, right, the final messenger, after the Mahdi and Reformer as Yahshua or Dawid. That's who I am, which means the Savior, Son of the Beloved, in the year 2007 AD. All right? So that's how long I've been back personified. Now let's go on to chapter 16:6. You all should mark this. 16:16. Mark these that I'm giving you so you can go back and study them later. I don't mean mark your books, I mean write it down on paper. Don't destroy your archives. All right. Page 704 of the Injil. That is Revelation 16:15. Now let me qualify what I'm about to say. Those of you that were in the school of Ansar know that Malachi came out with a series of scrolls called the Revelation Scrolls. They were big blue books thick, where he explained the whole book of Revelation. And he taught you in those books that Armageddon would erupt in the Middle East. And it would be in the valley of Megiddo around the Jordan River, in which these toxic demonic frogs would come out, and it would be a 200 million man army of Chinese, and they march across that, conquering with scorpions that John described as scorpions with fiery tails, which were actually military tanks. And if you've been paying attention to the news, you know that the Chinese are heavily involved in the Middle East right now in the conflict, partly motivated by the fact that the United States, the great Satan, is trying to interfere in their annexation of the land across from China, Taiwan, that they feel is part of their homeland. And the Chinese are trying to get the rest of the world to attack and see them as the great Satan in the Middle East to open their way to Taiwan. Are you following me? Now, Revelation 16:15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth, and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked, and they see his shame. The proper translation here, I, Melchizedek, am. He was sent, not Messiah Yahshua, who said he would send his angel to signify to the congregation. And Malachi, means my angel. I, Melchizedek, come just like a thief, and the world will not even know he is here, because they will mistake him for Hamashiach, the Messiah Jesus. They think that's him because there's so much alike. I know that's true because I mistake him for Hamashiach. I thought he was Jesus, and his mother's name was Miriam. I thought sure he was the angel Jesus, Gabriel, when I was in San Diego. And I didn't even know that was me. They have the wrong concept. Blessings are for all those who stay awake or keep the rights of Abraham and don't stray off the path. And don't stray off the path, which is the devil, evil reptilians' main purpose, to seduce you as he did your foreparents before you. And he comes in many forms. Remember I told you about the 11 tribes of Canaan, and one of those 11 tribes of the devil is the tribe of the Hamathites, and they're black. So there's 10 white tribes of Canaan, cursed, and there's one black tribe of devils. And they're called Hamathites because when Noah, as a husbandman, grew those grapevines, and his grapes became fermented, he drank and became intoxicated. He went into his tent and he sprawled out naked. And his son Ham came and looked on his nakedness and ran and got his brother from without to see. And then Shem, Ham, and Japheth, one of his other brothers, backed into the tent and covered up his father's nakedness. Now, what the curse was that when Ham looked at his father, in his stupor, Noah relaxed and he transformed back into a reptilian, an ugly reptile. And that scared Ham so bad that it stained his genes, it mutated his genes white. Just like a soldier in a foxhole go in with black hair and come out with white hair. And that curse didn't apply to him because he was still black, but his son, Canaan, was born an albino, cursed leper, as a result of that. That's why Noah raised up out of the stupor and looking at his son Ham, he said, "Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants will he be until his people." Because he was cursing not Ham, but his lineage, his sons, and all the people that come from him moving forward. All right? They have the wrong concept. Blessings are for all those who stay awake or keep to the rights of Abraham and don't stray off the path, which is the devil, evil reptilian's main purpose, to seduce you as he did your foreparents. And watch, among you right now, there's a devil moving among you trying to defame and slander and make you all stray off the path. And he's working very hard with his evil self. He's working himself to death, literally. Your foreparents before you, and he comes in many forms and guard his robes, the garb of purity and righteousness, and be not seduced out of your garb, like the people of today. These feet walk around naked, and they see your nakedness, removal of the garb of righteousness, and the face veiled, and to take on the dress worn by the harlot, tight jeans and dresses, etc., where that a lot of times sisters can appear to you and they fully dressed, clothed from head to toe, but their clothes can be so tight, they might as well be naked because you can see the imprint of their whole body, camel's toe, whatever, the whole thing. It just, the clothes painted on so tight, they're not naked, but they might as well be naked, right? All right. And he gathered them together in a single place, called in the Hebrew tongue, Armageddon, Mount of the place of crowds. Armageddon, Mount of the place of crowds. Revelation 16:16. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue, Armageddon. And he gathered them together in a single place, called in the Hebrew tongue, Armageddon, Mount of the place of crowds. And the seventh and last messenger pours out his vial upon the air, and the greatest earthquake ever to hit the planet Earth. Now, you'll all notice that there's so many things that's happening, so much erupting in Ukraine and in Israel. United States police forces all over the world are being attacked and threatened, that many of you missed this big giant earthquake in Afghanistan that just happened. 2 of them in a row that killed thousands and thousands of people. How many of you saw that? Right now, while all this is going on.
I saw it.
All right. Keep your finger on the pulse of the nation. All right. And the seventh mallet, or angel, poured out his vial into the air. And there came a great voice out of the temple of Orion's Moreno skies, from the throne, saying, "It is done." Revelation 16:17. And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air. And there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, "It is done." And then proper explanation attached there. And the seventh Elohim Anunnaki messenger poured out his vial upon the air. And there came out a supreme voice from the tabernacle of the feast, saying, "It is done." Meaning the final conflict will bring about the mystery of the Most High, Eli, will be completed. And the rendering of the last plague will bring Allah, Yahweh, El Elo's final wrath, and the war of Armageddon. You can see the devil is not happy with what he's hearing right now. So he's wrapping his claw around the spine of this little nigga. Okay, and there were voices and thunders and lightnings, cursing, and just keep seeing him dead, with his feet moving into that, that burner to be cremated while he's still alive. Feet first, very slowly. And there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the planet Earth, so mighty an earthquake and great. Revelation 16:18. And there were voices and thunders and lightnings. And there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake and so great. The proper translation: and there was lightning and thunder and voices. And there was a great earthquake, worse than the one from before, that was not been since the life of it, since the existence of the nation of people upon the planet Earth. A strong earthquake like this never happened before. The earthquakes, plural, that are happening now have devastating effects, sometimes destroying whole cities and claiming many lives. Many people are buried in landslides alive, while others are heard crying under the levels of concrete from collapsed buildings. So check out the earthquakes in Afghanistan if you haven't already. All right. Revelation 16:19. And the great city was divided into 3 parts. We're talking about New York now, Babylon. And the cities of the nations fell, and the great Babylon came into remembrance before God, to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. Now, that's what's coming up on all the black and white devils. Proper explanation. And the great city became three parts, or the three world powers, being the USA, Russia, and Asia, or Edom, that would be China. And all the cities of the nation fell, and they will become obsolete and crumble, and will suffer also. And Babylon the Great. And these beings, they're suffering right now, and they're rejected. They feel like they're out of place because there's no space found for them in the heavens. They're cast out of the heavens. Their family don't want them. They're hated by all creation. Like the devil, the Canaanites, that the whole universe is turned on, and nature hates them, man jumps on them, the sun, just when you just cast out, and you're not wanted, you're hated and reviled by everybody and everything. That's when you call yourself going to war with all, then all goes to war with you. Okay? And will become obsolete and crumble, and will suffer also. And Babylon the Great, that thought to be invincible city, was remembered in front of the face of Eli, because of its iniquities, in order to give to her, the USA, the cup of the intoxicant, which is from the punishment of his wrath, for all those who partook of the delicacies of the harlot, and lived deliciously, and all of mankind will be destroyed. Another small step for man, a giant leap for mankind. Revelation 16:20. And every island, all other religions represented by the Asian islands, escaped, and the mountains couldn't be found, which are the seven heads, represented by the seven mountains, which will be destroyed. Revelation 16:21. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. And big hail fell down upon the nation of people, which were actually bullets being fired during a severe war. We're talking about the Middle East now. The bullets that people thought came down like hail are raining down on the people in the Middle East and in Ukraine, like the weight of 50 to 100 pounds from the Orion skies. And the nation of people blasphemed Elohim and Anunnaki because of the plague of hail. Because the plague of hail is very severe, and out of this severity, the world will still not repent. They want to be hard, that's good. The way the Most High treats them is like two boxers, one a master boxer and the other a apprentice. The master hits the apprentice wants to fall, but the master boxer steps on his foot, so every time he hits him, he can lean back, but he can't fall. He puts his weight on his foot, he steps on his foot, and keeps beating him and beating him like a heavy bag, but he can't fall, just taking punishment. It was the same way with Pharaoh in Egypt when he was commanded through Moses by the Most High to let his people go, and he refused. And when he chased the Israelites all the way to the Reed Sea, not Red Sea, the R-E-E-D, Reed Sea, and the Most High gave Moses the power to lift his staff and part the Red Sea, and to let the children of Israel run on across the dry riverbed to the other side. And as soon as the last one got there, the Reed Sea started closing in behind them. The walls started falling in of water. But by then, Pharaoh had sent his men, the charioteers and his warriors, a 1,000,000-man army, into the Reed Sea in hot pursuit of them. But as soon as the last one of them got into the Reed Sea, the wall of the water started closing in on them. And they all drowned it there, all of Pharaoh's men. He was the only one left standing there with his empty ego like a fly after a spider threw on his chariot, a shell in the face. And he cried, he was so hurt and destroyed. And the Most High communicated with Pharaoh at this point. And he told him, I know that you really destroyed and crushed and wounded by what just happened. But I want you to know that not only are you going to be put in hell right now and forever going forward, but I'm taking back all the paradise you received in the past and turning your entire past into hell as well. You hear what I said? Don't play with the Most High and his messengers or his message. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Now, we're not talking about an individual woman. We're talking about the city of New York. And one of the 7 Anunnaki Elohim, who was Malachi's Duck, who had with him one of the 7 vials, to pour the wrath of Baals unto the planet Earth, came and spoke with me, John, son of Zebedee, and Salome, saying, Come here, I will show the judgments of the great harlot, New Babylon, America, called the harlot because she revels in the lifestyle and ways of the inhabitants of its shores. That's New York, the city that sits upon the shore, that sit upon the many waters, showing the vast extent of her influence. It is also symbolic of the Statue of Liberty, which is a representation of the harlot, the female holding a flame up, who sits on the waters of the Hudson River, or Hud's son in the Bible, Hud's son. You're talking about New York. Hud was a descendant of Hud-Nephishtim, Noah, by way of his son Shem. He was sent to the tribe of Ad, who were also descendants of Noah by way of Shem. The people of Ad were a powerful nation, but they were idol worshippers, and they committed all sorts of wickedness. They, like the inhabitants of New York, constructed great tall pillars of stone and built upon them tall edifices to their idols. In the end, they were destroyed by a powerfully strong cold wind that blew for 7 straight days and nights throughout the land. All right. All you have to do is not believe it for it to happen to you. That's all you have to do. It's real easy. You know, you can challenge this message. But I'll tell you, the Most High promised that he would cast the devil down at your feet to be your footstool. If you take your pens and write down right now, Google Black Hebrew Israelites, white people kissing their feet, comma YouTube, or white people kissing the feet of Black Hebrew Israelites, comma YouTube. You will see the Most High has to cast even the Pope down at your feet so that he can kiss them. They'll all be cast down in their pride with them, their fake, phony pride with them, and all their lives will diminish, like Pharaoh. Revelation 17:2. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. You know, the shipmasters and whatever that got waxed rich, fooling with the delicacies of the harlot. Ishtar, daughter of sin, whom the rulers of the planet Earth, representing the red and black Arabs, not the many so-called Arabs who inhabit the Arab countries today, but the Nubians here in the Western Hemisphere, who are the true black Arabs. That's like that black devil here. None of those Indians, so-called red Arabs, who now rule Saudi Arabia, are the real Arabs. They are only East Indians who took over Mecca The red Arabs call themselves kings, but it is really the black Arabs who are the true rulers of the planet Earth, who committed fornication with the harlot and became drunk from the intoxicant or poison to the system of her fornicating place, the United States of America on the planet Earth. Revelation 17:3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names and blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Tafsir, and he advanced with me, John, son of Zebedee, Absalom, to the wilderness of North America, and the soul. John was taken up in the spirit on the Lord's day, right? And he was raised up in vibration, just like you are, with the human resonance. And he advanced with me, John, son of Zebedee, Absalom, to the wilderness of North America, in the soul, traveling in the spiritual form. So I, John, son of Zebedee, Absalom, saw a confident wife sitting upon a beast, the evil one's empire, headed by the United States of America, throughout the United Nations, colored red as the robe of the Queen of England, the mother of America, manipulating and controlling it, and names of blasphemy such as God, Jehovah, Jah, Allah, deity, etc. He, the beast, representative of the evil one's empire, headed by the United States, and the EEC, common market nations, that's Europe, has 7 heads, being England, Russia, France, Germany, Spain, Italy, and the United States, and 10 horns, being England, Spain, Germany, Russia, Hungary, Italy, Greece, Turkey, and the United States. The United States on every one of those places, right? Now, you think you can read further here, but the problem, you read very articulately, but you don't have a power in your voice. You don't read up and clear. Could you do that? Read forward, up. Project your voice loud and clear.
On 724, I'm picking up from there the mistranslation. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. The right translation, and the confidant wife, Babylon, the great, the harlot queen, arrayed in purple and red color.
Let me ask.
Colors of a harlot.
Let me ask. What is the color of royalty like with queens and kings?
Purple.
That's what they wear. The harlot queen was arrayed in purple and red color. Go ahead. They wear purple and red. Go ahead.
The colors of a harlot. Also the chief color worn by popes and cardinals, and with golden ornaments, with gold and precious stones and pearls, she hides her face.
Now you see, when you're talking about, I'm sorry, I have to, just allow me to dip in every now and please. Have patience with me. You know, where whores walk, they call it a red light district, right? Go ahead.
Right.
Okay.
All of the evils that she does behind wealth, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and impurities of her fornication. 17:5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Right translation, and upon her forehead was a name written, this name is pornography. That is secret because she has disguised herself as something great. But in effect, she is the product of all the evil one's empires which came before her. The big Babylon, mother of all pornography and abominations of the planet Earth. America is the home of all kinds of perversion, lesbianism, homosexuality, incest, bisexuality, rape, and bestiality. 17:6. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Right translation. And I, John, son of Zebedee and Salome, saw the confident wife drunk from the blood of the Holy One, meaning that the harlot has persecuted and killed the righteous just because they were righteous.
That's what that devil is doing to you all now. Persecuting us because we're righteous. Texting all this slander and lying, saying that I don't send people spiritual packages when they pay for them. And he had to put me on blast on Facebook. And ever since he talked to me, he can't get a job and all that. No, ever since he talked about me, he can't get no job. You follow what I'm saying? He's cursing himself and he don't even know it. Because he's got a reptilian problem with his claw wrapped around the base of his spine, shooting him electrical impulses so fast and hot. He's tapping like a barefoot cat on a hot tin roof. Go ahead.
And I, John, son of Zebedee and Salome, saw the confident wife drunk from the blood of the Holy One, meaning that the harlot has persecuted and killed the righteous just because they were righteous, and from those who bear witness to the Messiah Jesus. So I, John, son of Zebedee and Salome, was amazed when I saw her great wonder. Revelation 17:7. And the angel, mistranslation, and the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou make marble? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. Right translation. So the Anunnaki Elohim said to me, why are you so amazed? I will inform you about the confident wife's secret, and the beast who carries it for her, who has the 7 heads and 10 horns. The devil's empire keeps the harlot's secret. Whenever the harlot, the United States, commits any kind of atrocity, her compatriots look the other way.
That's right.
All the nations of the world protect the United States' reputation as a world power.
Like the way that they abuse black people. They cloak everybody, all the demons cloak for Satan.
Yes. Revelation 17:8.
Let me move a little bit like that. Let me try a little bit right now. Please. Revelation 17:8. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. And they that dwell upon the earth shall wonder whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is. Prophet said, as for the beast, the United Nations, headed by the United States, which you saw, he was old Babylon, and he is not existing now in the time of John, son of Zebedee, and Salome, yet is determined to come again, and is now here. He will ascend from the bottomless pit on June 6, 1966 AD. That was the year of the child, when the Pope made his first United States visit, and he went to the Dakota House, where they have devil worship, and a picture that depicted what he did to incarnate Damien Thorne. Another name for him was Adrian Barbados, like this Adrian Edwards, and you'll all have his contact information, phone numbers, emails, live address, all of his information. And the picture that depicted this was Rosemary's baby, right? In 1968, to give birth to mortal sons. It was 13 of those sons, and they're over the 13 British common market nations. This is the year that the evil one and his agents began to destroy the Nubian race spiritually, mentally, and physically on a large scale. The birth of the child. In the year 1966 AD, the devil, Satan, Lucifer, gave birth to 13 children. His sons were born in India, China, to name a few, all over the world on June 6, 1966 AD. One of Satan's 13 sons was born in the Western Hemisphere in New York City. You've seen that picture, Damien Thorne, the Nubian populace did not even know what was going on because they kept everything cloaked. They cloaked, under some type of disguise that was happening right in front of your face. The devil has camouflaged these factual events in a series of movies and has told you the truth without you even realizing it. He purposely puts everything that he is doing right in front of your face. You are just so far under the spell that you are not able to see it. The first movie that dealt with the birth of his son was Rosemary's Baby, a movie that half of the population in America saw, but just looked at it as sheer entertainment. On June 6, 1966 AD, Satan was born in the flesh unto Rosemary in New York, or the New York in the Dakota House. New York is the new capital of America that the European family York established in the 1800s AD from Yorktown, England. New York is the seat for the Statue of Liberty, which is symbolic of the Queen of England. Now you see where she's at right now. She's the queen, thought she could never die, but she's dead. The Statue of Liberty is a woman coming out of the water with 7 horns, holding the torch. The Statue of Liberty was given to America by the Grand Orient of France. It was originally called Liberty, enlightening the world. It was given as a gift from the French to the American people to honor the 1876 AD centennial celebration. The exterior copper shell in the form of a classical draped female figure carrying a torch was designed in 1870 to 1875 AD by a French sculptor named Frederick Auguste Bartholdi. The Masonic Lodge of France gave it to them. It was made of wood, but it fell. Then it was reconstructed of copper. The Statue of Liberty was unveiled in the New York Harbor on October 26, 1886 AD. Now, I want to know, Chief Amun, you following the Injil on your disc?
I'm actually following it on my phone.
Okay, can you read further?
Sure.
If it's not convenient, just tell me right now. It's not convenient right now.
No problem.
Okay.
Okay. Now back to the point. Rosemary of the movie Rosemary's Baby was not a fictitious character. She was a real Amorite. The name Rosemary, Satan's mother, was chosen because it symbolizes the ancestral background of the physical devil, the Amorite. Let's break down the symbolism of the name Rosemary. The rose is a plant that can symbolize many things. The phases of its life cycle are comparable to the 4 Babylonian empires. Its beauty represents the glory and grandeur of each of these empires, its death by their decline and eventual end. Its rebirth every spring represents the rise of a new, even more glorious empire out of the ruins of its predecessors. The thorns of the rose plant represent the pain and suffering experienced by the countries that have been at the mercy of their rule. The rose is also symbolic of the War of the Roses, a war which occurred in Europe in the 1800s between 2 families, the Yorks and the Lancasters. These were 2 Amorite cursed seeds. The Lancasters did not want to intermarry with the Yorks. Thus, a family feud occurred, resulting in the Lancasters moving to America to the south. The American so-called cracker is the pale man, who is the same as the European. The reason why Amorites are called crackers is because during slavery they used to crack the whip across the slave's back. Mary. The name Mary represents the paganistic and Satanistic religion which they oppose, Christianity. Mary was the mother of the Messiah Jesus. But in order for Christianity to falsify the Trinity concept, they used Nimrod, the great Median king of Babylon, and his mother, Semiramis, whom he married. Wow. Every statue appeared of Semiramis holding little Nimrod. She was accepted as the queen of heaven, Astarte. This is the mother and child idol, Madonna, holding a baby. Her symbol became the moon. Nimrod, her husband, and the sun became known as Baal, the sun god, and his symbol became the sun. The devil has to set up a coven and assembly of witches to exercise his Satanistic power. But before the coven can do this, it must consist of 12 members, with the 13th member being the devil himself. Coven, noun, an assembly of witches from Middle English, coven, a gathering, or convent. None. Convents. The buildings are buildings occupied by nuns who practice witchcraft, Middle English, from Old French, from Medieval Latin, conventus, from Latin a, coming together, assembly, from convener, to come together or to convene.
All right, let me start a little bit here. The congregation of a coven exists predominantly in England, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Massachusetts, Australia, New England, and America. The Pope, who heads Italy, one of the countries controlled by the beast, the President of the United States, as well as political leaders of other countries around the world, are all a part of the Brotherhood of Satan. Now, you notice that all countries call United States of America the Great Satan. What they don't want to tell you is that there's a connection between the Bush and the Roosevelt family. All of them are related in some way or another. They refer to themselves as the royal family. It's not common knowledge that former Vice President Quayle is related to George Bush, not to mention Richard Bruce. Cheney, Secretary of Defense. You would never guess the woman they consider the most sexiest woman who ever lived. Yes, late President Kennedy's mistress, Marilyn Monroe. Boom, 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 boom. Which also had links back to Bush. Not to mention Benedict Arnold, who is the fourth cousin, and Abraham Lincoln. Bush has a long line of relatives, all familiar names. People such as Betty Davis, Winston Churchill, and the Roosevelts. This is late President Franklin D. or Delano Roosevelt and Teddy Roosevelt. Now, it was Theodore Roosevelt and Teddy Roosevelt with the Rough Riders that traveled over to Sudan after I ascended as the Mahdi, Muhammad Ahmed, in 1885. When I got there, they had a large bear veiled in a white sheet like a dollar bill. And he said, "Let me see my bear." And he uncovered the bear. So when you hear Obama say, "The bear is loose," they call Ahmed the bear. Right? If you keep looking, you find out that there are at least 10 other people who have had major roles in the White House that are also related to Bush, whether it be through intermarrying or direct bloodline. There were over 21 United States presidents that were related. This should come as no surprise. They are all intertwined. This is what the illuminated ones are all about. And they decided who's going to be president in the order of the hour in California, right? The royal family. Why? Because they can keep control of the country and help institute one worldism if every ruler or what you call president feels exactly the same way. You have the relatives of Bush through marriage in the Eisenhower family and the Nixon family. Zachary Taylor, James Madison, and James Monroe are all a part of this so-called royal clan, whose plan is to promote one worldism. The popes of the Vatican City, the Kennedy family, and the Churchill family are only a few of the devil's advocates who hold power around the world. If you would just open your eyes, you would see the baby was born right here in the United States, in New York, the pit of the devil, on 72nd Street, in an apartment house that has been around since the latter part of the 1800s AD. This house is popular amongst the occultists because it housed witches and warlocks. The Dakota House also is infamous because that singer, what was her name? That Roberta Flack. She was part of the assassination of Donny Hathaway. They threw him out of a high window to his death as a sacrifice to Satan, right? All right? Yeah. This house is popular among the occultists because it housed witches and warlocks. In the movie Rosemary's Baby, now here's the boy right here, Adrian Marcado. Adrian Edwin. Adrian Marcado was the chief warlock, devil, who gained the most attention. He gonna gain attention, all right. I'm taking off the gloves. He was born, that nigga better eat up all that evil. He better go over every turd and swallow it all the way back to the beginning. Trying to help that boy, but he wants to attack. To Glasgow, Scotland in 1849 AD, and came sometime after to New York. Singer Roberta Flack has been a resident of the Dakota House for many years. In fact, Donny Hathaway was said to have committed suicide from her apartment window. It is still a question in many minds if he was a sacrifice to Satan. Marcado, Adrian, participated in the Sabbath, one of their rituals, and was one of the chief priests who conjured up the devil. He died in 1922 AD. In 1886 AD, his son, Stephen Marcado, was born in New York, who not by coincidence lived in the same apartment house as Rosemary. Later in the story, we find out that Adrian Martino, is the devil. And that Rosemary's baby was named Adrian because it was he who had come from hell and manifested as part man and part beast to beget a son by a mortal woman, Rosemary. The devil knows the name you chose tells your life story. Thus the name Adrian was chosen for his son. He makes it a point to disguise his nature and the reality that he is an evil being by choosing common names which appear to have no significance meaning. The name Adrian is a good example of this. Right, Adrian, a masculine given name, Middle English, Adrian. Okay, all right. Okay, Adrian stems from the word exhort, which means skillful and clever, especially in the exercise of mental faculties of an ingenious person. So Adrian is an expert, clever, skillful, and artful. These are definitely the attributes of Satan. And there are many people who know about this beastly child that was born in 1966 AD. All right, family, it's 10:25. Let's go out and perform these miracles. And I want you all to make a promise and an oath that you're going to get this class and you all contact Katat in Florida. They have him send you all the links to the classes that he edited. And you all put them like I asked him to do in all the YouTube places we got, all our pages, all our websites, all our Facebook pages. Put all those links on there, every one of them. You don't want to put a link on for a time to take it off and put another, like that plan with people, tease them. You want to have all those links available like this one so that they can, hit it from all different angles and get a clear overview of reality, undisguised. All right, he's going to be the first one to move some stars for us tonight. Cheryl, are you here in London?
Yes, it's raining this side.
Okay, I just wanted to let you know I didn't forget what I promised you about the NGO, okay?
Okay, thank you.
And I was going to have you read too, but time just snuck up on us. Okay, we're going to be the first one to do something for us.
It's overcast in Florida, man.
Okay. Now we need, what you got in Dallas, Texas? What you going to move for us?
I'm checking right now.
Thank you. Key for Amun, what about you?
I see the Messiah star.
All right. That'll be fine. Just tell us what you're going to do with it.
Okay.
I see it.
In the name of Amun, run up. And it's taking off and it's running up.
Wobbling. Okay.
It is. Now stop. In the name of Amun-Rayay, going in a clockwise circle. All right, it went to the left, now it's going in a clockwise circle. There it goes. Now stop. In the name of Amun-Rayay, come closer. It's coming closer. Now stop. Tower Hot Messiah, Tower Hot family.
I love you. One more person. What you got there? I love you.
I see one, a really bright one.
All right.
I see one.
Go ahead, Anuka. Go ahead.
In the name
I'm
of
gonna have you read too. Go ahead.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, move up. It's moving up.
Jerky, but it's going
up. It's turning a little bit, yeah. In the name of Amun-Rayay, drop down. And coming down. In the name of Amun-Rayay, move to the right.
There go Adrian.
Yeah, move to the right. And in the name of Amun-Rayay, move back to the left.
Now the devil Adrian messing up on the phone because he's texting people saying he ain't never seen no stars or moon move, not knowing that that's a confession that he is that Adrian, that devil.
Stop making noise, devil. Get off the phone. In the name of
Amun-Rayay. See him going into the crematorium.
He hurt himself. He hurt himself.
That's all.
I know he is.
Hurt his own.
But I'm going to help him hurt himself this time.
Yeah. In the name of Amun-Rayay. In the name of Amun-Rayay, come close. Move close. In the name of Amun-Rayay, move back. Move back. In the name of Amun-Rayay, make a clockwise circle. It went a little off somewhere else, but it's making a little circle.
Like it went off like my mind did. All right, right now, you all. That's gonna be enough. I love you. Look,
I love you. Thank you.
I want to thank everybody. And T-Fet, everybody, Katat, all the people making donations, and those that are buying spiritual packages. Just know that your package is on the way. Your packages are on the way. And the snake Adrian is a black-ass lion devil, okay?
He needs to start hurting himself, Amun.
Yeah, I know. How many of you all can testify that I send packages when you get them, and I send you more than you send me?
I can. This is all.
All right. So you know that he's a liar.
I
right
can.
There. He's just...
I can, because I see what goes in them.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. He's just a lion snake. That's what he is. A lion devil. And anybody entertain that snake is a snake. I love you, because if you don't know me by now, you never know me. TikTok, Amun-Rayay. Spread these messages all over the world. All over the world. Call up the chat and get him to email you all the links to all the classes he edited, at least 20 of them. It's beautiful work.
It's about 40. I got them ready.
Now. You got them ready. I love you, son.
It's about 40 classes. I got them ready.
I love you, man. But, okay. But, y'all, if you don't know your email, his number is 9, right? Y'all ready? What is your email, Katat? That's better. Give me your email, Katat.
My email is tawilly@gmail. That's TAHWILLY@gmail.
That's tawilly,
TAHWILLY@gmail.
That's Tom. So, Cheryl, you got that written down, right? Yes. Cheryl, London. Okay, well, make sure you get all those links, and you all post them links up everywhere with contact information for us. You follow me?
Yes, and thank you for the ones that were sent to me as well in my email. Appreciate you.
I love you. Now, these classes are not study material for fake devils to imitate being messiahs. These are links for you to send to the world. to people. You understand me clearly. I'm looking back to see if you're looking back to see if I'm looking back to see if you're looking. Love you. The real Messiah, Amun-Rayay.